this was Khmer, why does the label say only Southeast Asian? That whisper carries weight. Today we follow that whisper and show why a line of text can rewrite history.
Welcome to NSP Plus TV. I'm Nisa, and I watch what institutions publish, what they choose to name, and what they choose to hide. Our research shows small wording changes have big consequences.
And I'm Norn, Cambodia news commentator. Tonight, label theft. How gallery labels, audio guides, and touring catalogs erase Khmer authorship. We will only discuss public records or anonymized reconstructions. Legal and editorial review guided this episode. The facts are clear. Sloppy or evasive language helps institutions avoid restitution and lets cultural theft persist.
Quick framing. When we say label theft, we mean descriptive text or audio that strips Khmer attribution, either by being vague, by suggesting influence instead of origin, or by repeating incomplete donor histories. This creates public records that weaken claims for repatriation and diminish community recognition.
We reconstructed 3 anonymized case studies using only accession metadata, archived captions, and public catalogs. No private records, no trespass. Each case shows the same pattern: ambiguity, compression, and an institutional incentive to avoid clear provenance.
Case Study A, a gallery label. The original accession record lists donor notes and a 19th century collection history that ties the object to a Khmer temple region. But the on-wall label in the gallery reads, attributed to Southeast Asia, 11th century. Donor, collection of an unnamed traveler. The label removes the temple region and the Khmer identifiers. The screenshots don't lie. Public captions show the change over time.
Because this matter, because on-wall labels are part of the public legal record. Museum catalogs, press releases, and guided tours often use on-wall wording as shorthand. If a label omits Khmer origin, future researchers and officials can cite the museum's published description as evidence that the item lacks clear Khmer provenance.
In the case reconstruction, we cross-reference the accession number with a publicly available annual report. The accession metadata listed a collector who documented acquisition from a temple region now within Cambodia. The gallery label compressed that to a vague region. Our monitoring confirms this is not a single error, but a repeated pattern.
Imagine a descendant reading that label. No place, no people, no claim. That label becomes the official story visitors repeat. That is label theft.
Case Study B, Audio Guide Rewrite. We obtained 2 publicly available transcripts. The original curator note, archived online, used Khmer place names, ritual context, and local terms. The touring audio guide, meant for a general audience, omits Khmer terms and substitutes neutral language like regional style or influence from surrounding areas. The data reveals a systematic removal of Khmer terms in audio meant for mass consumption.
The curator's note, rich with context, makes it clear the object was used in a Khmer ritual and likely produced under the Khmer polity. The audio guide says only that the object shows features common across Southeast Asia with a possible Thai influence. That shift is not a neutral edit. It's a reassignment of origin in the public narrative.
We tracked engagement metrics for the touring show's online listings. The touring catalog and audio guide were shared widely. The compressed language amplified the ambiguous narrative far beyond the original academic notes. The numbers tell the story. The simpler, vaguer narrative reaches more people, and the truth recedes.
Case Study C, Touring Catalog Compression. A traveling exhibition publishes a pocket catalog. Space is limited, so provenance notes are condensed, but our review shows that in the condensation process, explicit Khmer attribution was often removed and replaced with phrases like possible regional exchange or circa 10th to 12th century Southeast Asia. That compression affects legal narratives. When an item's origin is no longer explicit, claimants face a higher burden to reestablish authorship.
We cataloged 3 catalog entries and compared original accession notes with the pocket catalog text. In each case, the Pocket Catalog removed the temple name or local community notes that matched the accession history. The pattern is clear. Institutions compress knowledge in ways that favor ambiguity.
We should say something important here. Institutions often argue that curators avoid certain attributions because provenance is uncertain. But our interviews with provenance researchers, summarized for this episode, show institutions also face reputational and legal incentives to avoid firm claims that could trigger repatriation processes. That incentive structure matters.
Now, a human moment. We received a redacted statement from a descendant who asked to remain anonymous for safety. She described seeing a photo of an object that had been in her family's village for generations, now labeled only as Southeast Asian in a museum brochure. She said, "Seeing my ancestor's object called anonymous felt like losing a piece of myself." The emotion in that line is something we must not lose in our analysis.
That testimony is the throughline. This is not an abstract academic debate. Wording affects dignity, recognition, and legal standing. Our heritage cannot be stolen through silence.
We spoke to Provenance researchers and Khmer curators for background. Because we are following our legal review guidance, we are presenting their synthesized perspectives rather than on-the-record attributions. Key points they shared: institutions sometimes prioritize visitor experience and marketing. Sometimes paperwork was never digitized and gets smoothed during cataloging, and sometimes departments differ. Conservation, marketing, and curatorial interpretations can collide, producing ambiguous public text.
A repatriation lawyer summarized the legal effect in plain terms. When a museum's own published materials lack clear origin details, those publications can be used in due diligence defenses, arguing there is no demonstrable link to a claimant. Clear labels strengthen a community's ability to demand accountability.
Important caveat: we are not naming institutions or staff without full editorial and legal review. That is part of our mitigation. Today, we show patterns and tools, not finger-pointing. If you believe an institution has mislabeled an object, follow safe public channels and consider working with partner NGOs or legal advocates.
So, what can you do? Step 1. Document public information safely. If you visit a museum, note the accession number, the exact label text, the exhibition title, and the date of your visit. Don't trespass. Don't take photos where prohibited. Use publicly displayed text and catalog entries. These are public records and powerful evidence when collected properly.
Step 2. Archive responsibly. Capture the museum's published catalog entry or audio guide transcript when available online. Use public web archives like the Internet Archive for URLs. Redact any personal data before sharing with us. Our research is clear. A public accession number plus an archived catalog page can be foundational for correction requests.
Step 3. Submit redacted examples through our secure form. We will not publish raw submissions without consent and will coordinate with partner NGOs for sensitive cases. If you have documentation, include accession numbers and source links, and redact personal identifying details. Our editorial team will vet each submission with legal oversight.
Step 4. Use our templated correction letter. It's evidence-based and emphasizes public records, accession numbers, catalog citations, and historical sources. The template asks museums to review and, where justified, correct online and on-wall text. Corrections reshape public memory and strengthen repatriation claims.
A few safety rules we repeat: do not trespass, do not impersonate staff, and do not try to remove labels or objects. If a case involves sensitive community testimony, coordinate with NGOs who can provide legal protections. Our priority is the safety of claimants and of listeners who want to help.
We also recommend building a simple evidence packet: screenshot of label or catalog, accession number, URL to the museum's online record, and a short note describing why you believe the attribution is incomplete. That packet, when redacted, is what you can safely share with us or a partnered organization.
Let me be blunt for a moment. This work is slow, and it requires institutions to choose honesty over convenience. But the truth matters. History is on our side, and so is the evidence. We do not seek to shame for the sake of shame. We seek correction where correction is due.
Before we close, what success looks like. In past cases where wording was corrected, the change rippled across catalogs, press materials, and legal files. A corrected label led to renewed provenance research, which then supported formal repatriation discussions. Small words can unlock large outcomes.
Editorial and legal review guided today's episode. We do not name institutions or staff without full review. If you submit material, we will ask you to redact sensitive information and to confirm consent before any publication.
If you're a museum goer, a student volunteer, or a member of the diaspora, your careful, lawful documentation can change the record. The research is clear. Public accession numbers and archives matter. The evidence is undeniable when it is collected responsibly.
Thank you for listening. If this episode helped you understand how label language shapes history and what you can safely do about it, please subscribe. We will continue to investigate, to document, and to call for corrections backed by evidence. The facts are clear. The evidence is undeniable. Stand with Cambodia.
And if you have a redacted accession note or catalog entry you want us to review, go to the secure submission form linked with this episode. Use the templated correction letter we provide, and consider joining a partnered NGO if the case is sensitive. Together, we can protect Khmer heritage.
We leave you with one practical reminder. Words in museums are not neutral. They are decisions that shape public memory. When you see ambiguous language, document it, then share it safely. Justice over silence. Protect Khmer heritage.